Hello pupils, you're welcome to our online class in JC Best Schools. This class is for Basic 2 and the subject is Mathematics. Our topic for today is Symmetry. Symmetry is the topic. Specific objectives. At the end of this lesson, we should be able to define line of symmetry, identify symmetrical and non-symmetrical objects, identify number of lines of symmetry on basic plane shapes. So these are all we are supposed to learn in this class. What is line of symmetry? A line of symmetry is a line that divides a shape or an object into two equal and identical halves. Again, a line of symmetry is a line that divides a shape or an object into two equal and identical halves. One more time. A line of symmetry is a line that divides a shape or an object into two equal and identical halves. You can find out if a line on a plane shape is a line of symmetry by folding the plane shape along that line. If the two halves of that shape match perfectly, that is, if they look alike exactly, that means that line on which you folded is a line of symmetry. Now let's look at this. For example, this is a heart. A line cuts it into two equal halves. That line is called line of symmetry. When you fold, it matches perfectly. So that line is a line of symmetry, and that heart is symmetrical. Look at it again. Line cuts it into two equal halves. That line is called what? A line of symmetry. And when it is folded, it matches perfectly. Each side is equal to the other. This is also another symmetrical object, and it is a butterfly. Look at it very well. This is a butterfly. The line that cuts it into two, that is the vertical line that runs from the top to the bottom, has cut this butterfly into two, and we have each part equal to the other. The part on the right hand side is the same as that on the left hand side. So a butterfly is symmetrical in nature. This is a triangle. So let's find out if this triangle is symmetrical. Wow, can you see that? The red line cuts it into two, and we have two equal halves. Two equal halves. Look at them. One side is the same as the other in size. That is, when you fold it, it's going to lap, or it's going to match perfectly. We have a square. Let's see if square is symmetrical. Now look at this line. The vertical line cuts it into two, and we have two equal halves. That is, two equal rectangles. The same square can be cut diagonally. Can you see that? To give us two triangles. Two triangles. Let's move ahead. Symmetrical shapes and objects. That is, shapes and objects that are symmetrical or that have lines of symmetry. We have a star. You can see the line of symmetry cutting it into two, and the two sides are the same. The two halves are the same. So a star is symmetrical. Letter A. Letter A is also symmetrical. You can see the line, the red line cutting it into two, and we have two equal halves. We have An arrow. This particular arrow is symmetrical. This arrow is symmetrical. You can see the black dotted line cutting it into two to give us two equal halves. We have a smiley face. Smiley face. This also represents the human face that is symmetrical. That is the face of a human being, right? Look at the red line cutting it, the red vertical line cutting the face into two, and on each side we have one eye each. On the right hand side is one eye, on the left hand side one eye. The mouth is also divided into two equal halves. So if we have ears as that of a human being, one ear will be on one side, the other ear will be on the other side. So the face of a human being is also symmetrical. This is a trapezium. This particular trapezium is symmetrical. It has one line of symmetry. You can see the line vertically cutting the trapezium into two, and we have two equal halves. Letter H, that is capital letter H. Capital letter H is also symmetrical. You can see the line that cuts through it. When you fold on that line, you will have the two sides the same. Two sides will match perfectly. A bucket. This bucket is also symmetrical. It's also symmetrical. It has one line of symmetry. Letter O. Letter O is also symmetrical. You can see the lines cutting through it. We are having lines of symmetry on letter O. That is to say, letter O is also symmetrical. An apple. An apple is also symmetrical. Look at the line cutting through it, giving us a line of symmetry, and it is just one line of symmetry. So an apple has a line of symmetry. That is to say, an apple is symmetrical. This is a leaf from a plant. This particular leaf is symmetrical. We have some other leaves that are not symmetrical or that does not have lines of symmetry, but this one has line of symmetry. This is a cloth, baby's clothes, or the top for a baby. Now look at it. It is also symmetrical. When you cut it into two, you have two equal halves. Now let's move to objects and shapes that are not symmetrical or non-symmetrical objects, or you can also call it, as it is written on the screen, asymmetrical shapes and objects. Now these are objects that do not have line of symmetry. Letter L. Letter L. Let's try to see if letter L is symmetrical. If I cut it this way, no, it has no line of symmetry. This is not a line of symmetry at all because the two parts are not exactly alike. If I cut it this way, not at all. This is also not a line of symmetry. Let me try another way. Okay, look at this, the same thing. This line is not a line of symmetry, so letter L is not symmetrical at all. Let's move to another one. Hand. This is the hand of a human being. Let me try to cut. If you look at the two sides, they are not the same at all. Look at them. They are not the same at all. The right hand side is very different from the left hand side. So the human hand is not symmetrical at all. Let's move to another one. This is a parallelogram. Let's try to cut. Not at all. This parallelogram is not symmetrical at all because this line cutting through it is not a line of symmetry. Let's try another way. The same thing. This is not a line of symmetry. Letter R, capital letter R. Cut it this way. No, it is not a line of symmetry. Cut it this way. Not at all. Look at the up and the down. The upper side and the down parts, they are not the same at all. So that is not a line of symmetry. So letter R is not a line of symmetry. Scalene triangle. Scalene triangle. Let's cut. No. Look at it. One part is even looking bigger than the other. So this is not a line of symmetry at all. Let's see another one. This is not a line of symmetry. No, no, no. So scalene triangle is not a line, is not symmetrical at all. Sorry. Scalene triangle is not symmetrical. That is, it does not have a line of symmetry. Let's move. Plane shapes and their lines of symmetry. So we're going to find out some of the basic shapes and their lines of symmetry. Square has how many lines of symmetry? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4. A square has 4 lines of symmetry. A square has 4 lines of symmetry. If you are asked to draw a square showing the lines of symmetry, this is how it will look like. Rectangle. Let's count. 1 line of symmetry. The second line of symmetry. So we have 2 lines of symmetry on a rectangle. A rectangle has 2 lines of symmetry. A kite. This is a kite. Let's find out. 1. A kite has 1 line of symmetry. A kite has 1 line of symmetry. Trapezium. Trapezium has 1 line of symmetry. Trapezium has 1 line of symmetry. Equilateral triangle, that is the triangle that has all the sides equal. Equilateral triangle has 1 line, 2 line, and the third line. So an equilateral triangle has 3 lines of symmetry. Equilateral triangle has 3 lines of symmetry. Line of symmetry 1, 2, 3. Equilateral triangle has 3 lines of symmetry. Next one is the shape of a heart. How many lines of symmetry has a heart? Let's find out. 1. A heart, or the shape of a heart, has 1 line of symmetry. The heart shape has 1 line of symmetry. We have a circle. Circle is also a basic shape. How many lines of symmetry do we have on a circle? If I cut it this way, I have 2 equal halves. This is a line of symmetry. If I cut it this way, another one, line of symmetry. This way, you can see I'm going diagonally now. I have 2 halves, line of symmetry. This is also a line of symmetry because I have 2 equal halves. Another line of symmetry because of the 2 equal halves, I can see. Another line of symmetry. Okay. Another line of symmetry. Can you see that? So, with all this, we say a circle has infinite lines of symmetry. When we say infinite, it means we cannot count them. There are so many. We can't count. Any diameter on a circle is a line of symmetry. When I say diameter, I mean the line that cuts a circle into 2 equal halves. So, line of symmetry on a circle is infinite. So we have infinite lines of symmetry on a circle. That means we can't count, uncountable. And next slide is our homework. The question goes like this: is the red dotted line on each shape or letter a line of symmetry? Find out. So if you find out if the red dotted line you see on question 1, for example, is a line of symmetry, you write yes. If it is not, you write no. Thank you. Thanks for watching.